I felt shamed. I felt targeted. I felt didn't belong here. They read my name and everyone started laughing.
Who is the real Ekin-Su? You decide.
That girl is so weird. She's so fat. The word's fat, remember? Fat, she's so ugly. She doesn't belong here. When I did get cheated on, I didn't tell anyone.
It was uncomfortable to watch.
Why are they doing this?
Hi, I'm Abbey Clancy and welcome to Exhibit A. Today's guest has dominated the headlines as of late, but now has her chance to tell the story. Welcome, Ekin-Su.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you so much for having me, Abby.
Thanks for coming.
I love the red. I love
Thank
the
you.
vibes in here.
Thank you so much.
You look stunning. On
So
that.
do you. We're all in black today.
Yes, we are.
Very
Both got red
serious.
nails on, so we're feeling it.
Exactly. Okay, so of course I know who you are, but for those who might not know, who is Ekin-Su?
I'm Ekin-Su, best known for winning Love Island 2022 with my ex Davide at the time. People might know me from Dancing on Ice, The Traitors US, Celebrity Big Brother, and little other things that I've done here and there.
Okay, so when I look at the Ekin-Su leaving Love Island, it's a far cry from the Ekin-Su I saw leaving Big Brother. You seem to have lost your confidence, lost your spark. And, you know, you've brought out a book now talking about your whole journey, which I read. I really enjoyed it. You know, some super sad parts, parts that made me laugh out loud, like the time when you weed yourself at the
No one knows that.
Which I couldn't believe. You know, it's like Insta versus reality.
I
like
can still smell
so
the
glam,
wee.
so glam. And here you are. I've got visions of you peeing your pants at the fire pit.
Yeah.
Do you think everyone knows the real Ekin-Su?
No, because I still am figuring out who the hell I am. And I think people have a sort of idea of who I am, but they don't see 24/7 of me, you know, doubting myself, or me, you know, taking accountability, me crying, me feeling really insecure. You know, I have people always look up to me and go, how can I be confident like you? And confidence, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Confidence doesn't just happen overnight. It happens from a lot of pain, trauma, and going through ups and downs in life and being your own best friend. Like I relate to the book, being your own person. So, yeah.
I think it's a good title for the book, Be Your Own Best Friend, because for me, that suggests start with you and then everything else will fall into place. Tell me about Ekin-Su growing up. I know you said to your parents when you were growing up, I'm going to be famous.
Yeah. See, my mum always says, since you were like 3 or 4, you just wanted the attention.
Yeah.
There's actually a very good memory of me that my mum took me to the Nutcracker, the ballet performance. And I was about 4. And we went to see this ballet performance at the time. And she said, you was watching the performance with your hands up in the air for 4 hours. Like you wouldn't like put them down.
Oh.
She was like, Ekin, put them down. I think I was just, I was in the moment. I wanted to be on stage. And she was like, and ever since then, she saw there was something in me that was unique. Another incident was we went to Spain with my mum and dad at the time before my brother was born when I was younger. And there was this flamenco dancer and she was dancing on the stage. And all of a sudden, mum was like, Ekin, you know, sit down. We're all sitting on the table and I was gone. Mum's like, where have you gone? Where is she? And my mum can hear a crowd clapping.
Oh.
It's me on the stage, copying. So the attention went from the flamenco dancer to me at the age of like 5. So she knew there was something there, that this urge, this passion to entertain people was the right word. Ever since then, and I kind of followed my path with the acting since a young kid, you know, doing shows and plays since, you know, always being the main character in a play.
Yeah.
Singing, always at choirs and singing at school.
Yeah, I've heard you're a good singer.
I haven't sung in years, but yeah, I have got a single out in Turkey. Weirdly, yeah. I also mentioned that in the book.
So baby Ekin-Su sounds super confident, you know, wants to entertain and please everyone, but that is so different to the person that's sitting in front of me now. You know, for me, you're so beautiful. It seems, you know, how can she be so insecure about herself? You know, she's gorgeous, she's successful. But I think, when did these insecurities start to creep in?
It started ever since I moved from the best school at the time in Tottenham, North London, from a very multicultural school. All my friends, I had a friend from Jamaica, from Romania, Albania, Turkish. It was so diverse. There's me as a Turkish, English, British citizen as well. My family being Turkish too. I felt home. I didn't feel like I was isolated. But then when I was 10, I think schools were really rough back in the day. And my mum and dad really wanted to move away so that I would get better education at secondary school.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of stabbings going on at the time with, I think there was White Hart Lane was a secondary school near my primary school that people would go to. But there was always, every week there was some sort of problem or a scare or gangs coming in. And we moved to Essex at the time. My mum fell pregnant with my brother at the time. And I had to say goodbye to my little friends at the school. So it was goodbye friends, goodbye teacher, goodbye memories, and hello, a brand new start. It was very exciting. Beautiful house. We moved into a nice bigger house with a garden. Everything seemed like a dream. The roads, I remember it being a really sunny day. We moved into the home. I remember just being really excited to meet my neighbours around the sort of block. And we moved to Loughton actually. And I was just really excited about everything. But then it wasn't that case. Everything kind of went back badly and downhill from there since the first day of primary school.
In what way?
First day of primary school, I was wearing a very long skirt with a packed lunch. I remember very vaguely, it was like Powerpuff Girls and a packed lunch, very cute square. I had a cheese string. My mum did a little square sandwich. First day of school, actually, my mum rushed to hospital because my mum was what's it when your water breaks?
Yeah.
So she had to go to hospital, very early birth. My brother was born. The first thing I noticed in primary school was how everyone was beautiful. I was there with my two plaits, hairy legs, long skirt, a little bit chubby, and looking at these beautiful girls with makeup on, with designer handbags at the age of 11, 12. This is year 6, I went into the school. And
that's quite a tricky age, especially for girls.
Yeah.
But it is quite young to be wearing makeup and designer bags.
And that's what I didn't understand. Now I understand it's very young and it's not good for young girls to be doing that. I remember loads of girls wearing fake tan at that age, and my lunchbox was Bratz or Powerpuff Girls, and theirs was Prada shoes or D&G handbags and bleach blonde hair and tanned and just looked really like a Barbie doll. I went into my form, sat down, feeling really, really, really excited. And as soon as they read my name, it went from excitement to a shame. I felt shamed. I felt targeted. I felt I didn't belong here. They read my name and everyone started laughing. The nicknames like Ekin, is that even a real name? Or you from space? Or Ekin-Su? Oh my God, who would name you that? And just take the mick out of my surname. I hated it. I wish I had an English name then. I really wish my parents had named me Sarah or something more simple, or Chloe, or do you know what I mean? But I just had to bite my tongue and just get along with the day. So the day went along, lunchtime came. I wanted to meet some people. The first thing happened was rejection from a young age. No one would sit with me. People were looking at my arms, going, oh my God, you're so hairy. Are you a gorilla? Are you Turkish? You should go back to your country. Racism kicked in. And I didn't understand. I was a kid. I was like, kind of didn't really affect me until later in life. I wanted to make friends, couldn't. Remember just eating my food in the toilets all the time. I remember I was in the toilet and I overheard girls talking about me. Oh, that girl is so weird. She's so fat. The word's fat, remember? Fat, she's so ugly. She doesn't belong here. Have you seen what she's wearing? She looks like a man. She's got hairy legs. She's disgusting. She smells. Have you, all these things, and it stuck to me for years. And this is probably why I own so many perfumes. Because it's from childhood trauma. I always get paranoid I smell, or I have to shave, or, it sticks with you for life. My mum was in hospital my dad was working and I couldn't tell anyone about the bullying. Very lonely childhood until a new girl came to school called Amy at the time. And she was from a foster family. She was very like me, the long skirt and, we both liked our junk food. She had I think she had like a anime themed lunchbox, and she came into our form and she sat next to me and I immediately warmed to her and we were both laughing together, and she also got bullied. But then what I noticed was she was English, but she got picked on her weight, at her being a bit quirky.
Yeah.
I was quirky. So we both were bullied together, but we kind of went through that together.
You say in your book it's so important for you to be liked.
Yeah.
Do you think that stems from your experiences in school, being bullied, not fitting in?
Yeah, it all stems from childhood. It all stems from pleasing people and being accepted. Because I was accepted in my old school. I didn't have to try hard. So then it became, I stopped being who I was.
Yeah.
I started to be someone else, a people pleaser at a very young age. And I didn't want to tell my mum or dad I was bullied because I wanted to be the strong girl who was good at everything, who was perfect. I didn't want to stress my mum. She was going for a pregnancy as well at the time.
Yeah. How does your mum feel now when you tell her these stories?
She cried. She read my book and she cried. She said, why? She only found out through the book. I didn't tell her for years what I went through.
For someone who's had to deal with so much growing up, the bullying, the rejection, feeling left out, the career path you chose to put yourself almost in the firing line. In this industry, we're constantly getting judged, looked at. People comment on how we look more so than our personality and who we are as people. Why did you do that to yourself?
So I always had an element of being famous. I don't know what it was. I used to dress up with my friend Amy at the time, pretend I was papped. I'd wear these I have videos at home, glasses with fake empty bags. She would take pictures of me and I'd be like, don't take any pictures of me. Oh, don't. And I'd have a Starbucks coffee cup. But yeah, so I used to pretend I was a celebrity and I had this ego and I felt happy doing that. I really did. I don't know what it was.
Maybe it was some form of escapism.
Yeah. And it felt like I was loved by people, being famous, being seen, I guess, being heard.
Many people might not know this, but you started out in acting. You were in a TV show in Turkey. How did that happen?
The acting happened from me going to see a play in Turkey on my own in the front row. And the director of the play spotted me in the audience. Weirdly, must have felt something, called me backstage and went, are you any chance, would you like to be in my play? Not even asking me, are you an actress? Where are you from? Do you want to be in my play? The moment I opened my mouth, he noticed I had an accent and thought, this is a bit unusual. Where are you from? And I said, well, funny enough, I'm an actress. I'm from England, but I'm Turkish inherited.
Yeah.
And he went, right, you're not going home. I'm putting you in this play. We're going to, you're staying here for 6 months. I'll tell your parents. And this is a very well-respected director. I couldn't say no. Yeah. Everyone knew him in Turkey. I said, why not? And we found a flat. I was renting a flat at the time on my own. He then sponsored me in a Turkish school where I, perfected my PR, my Turkish PR. I was in a play.
Wow.
I performed in a play. I got to know some of the cast members. Then we had a night where we...
But you've been spotted just solely on the way you look. So that must make you feel something.
Yeah,
you don't regard yourself as good looking or hot or sexy but you got spotted out of a crowd just on how you look.
Yeah, I guess I did looking back and I didn't think I was all that, just sitting there watching the play. But I guess he liked the look of me or saw something and all of a sudden we had an evening of celebration. I went on the stage and I started singing a song called I Will Always Love You. And there was a guy in the audience recording it, sent it to the DMC producer of Sony Music, Turkey. He went, who's that girl? And then they were like, I don't know, she's in the play. The dinner is finished. They pull me to a side and say, Ekin, our producer really liked you. Would you come to the studio to record? I went,
no way.
I laughed. I went, what is going on with my life? I've been here for 6 months and now someone's telling me to be a singer. I thought it was a fraud, so we had to research. It was real.
So you recorded a song?
I recorded a song. They sponsored it. It became a hit in Turkey. 1 million views on YouTube, Spotify. We shot it with this other girl called Seçil, who they thought a blonde and a brunette would work really well. She was a Turkish singer.
Wow.
I was like, hang on a minute, am I a singer now? Like, this is really weird. Something didn't feel right though. I felt like this isn't what my career is. So I had to choose between acting and singing. So time went on, and the director of the play put me in a Turkish soap as my first TV appearance as a doctor.
And you speaking the language?
Yeah. I was speaking fluent Turkish. I was living in a caravan. I had to operate someone as my role. I had to take an operation on a dead body.
So you're a doctor?
I was a doctor at 22.
Is this like Turkish Grey's Anatomy kind of vibe?
Yes. And it was the first time on a set. The cameras and people around me. And to do a scene, you had to do it like 6 times, close-ups, far take, again, the other person's shot. Felt really weird, but I really enjoyed it.
That takes some guts as well.
I don't know how I did it. Must have had some confidence back then.
Yeah.
Because I look back and I think, I wasn't scared of anything. Anything could have happened to me in Turkey. I was alone. Didn't know anyone. I didn't have money as well. I did not have money. I don't know how I survived.
See, I've always been a wuss. I can't even sleep in my own house at my own. So,
I'm like that now.
God knows how you...
I'm like that. I'm very needy now. So the dark side of this industry, there has been doubts in my head. And what really stuck to me was with the process of Love Island as well. The medical, you go for a psych session when they really try and test if you're mentally strong to do this, which I never understood. I was like, why are they doing this? There's been suicides through Love Island in the past, and it's a big deal now. So the aftercare is really good. And then you were like, Ekin, how would you cope with people talking about you? If, for instance, you had success after Love Island, and I thought, easy at the time. Me, trolls, I love them, bring them on. And I thought, easy, I don't care what people say about me when I was applying. Until now, I get why they do test people going on these shows, which they should, because it's hard. It's dark, it's scary,
It's also like, these people who go on these shows, they've come from normal jobs, builders,
overnight success.
An overnight success, thrown into the limelight.
It's a bit like footballers who come from families or normal backgrounds, and then all of a sudden they're the biggest football team and they have this money coming in, and they don't know how to act and cope with it.
But I think, for me, like, thankfully, I've had quite a positive, because I started out in reality TV as well. I was on Britain's Next Top Model. But
you are definitely Britain's top model.
This is 20 years ago now. I was like 18, 19 when I was on the show. And I wanted to go on that because I wanted to be a model. And even now, I look back, it's like how naive, like Britain's Next Top Model is kind of so far away from kind of the modeling industry. But I didn't see the fame side of it. I just wanted to be a model. And for me, that was my opportunity. That was how I was going to be a model.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, I think when you go through things that are unpleasant, your mind blocks them out, and you your mind erases it, and you kind of can't remember how you felt. Because as far as I'm concerned, like the team on Britain's Next Top Model, I still speak to today, like Cheryl, the producer, Marty, they were the most incredible. Nikki, who I went on to judge with later on, like everyone was amazing, but the girls were really tough. And to this day, people say to me, God, the girls were so mean to you. But I think I enjoyed it so much. I'd never been away from home.
The sort of
it's so, I can't remember the bad bits. I can't remember them.
That's good though.
But without that show, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
It's given you a platform, I guess.
How did the whole Love Island thing happen? How did you get on the show?
Again, an application, which took me so long. It's so long, the application. Oh, I nearly got lazy and I thought, F this, I can't be asked.
Yeah.
But it was because a friend. We flipped a coin in Turkey, and heads was going to be doing the Turkish movie and tails was Love Island. And the universe flipped the coin twice on tails, and I thought, what's a sign? So I took my chance. I did the application, had a bizarre dream 6 months prior that I won Love Island. And I rang my boss, my manager now, Neil, who I'd known for 11 years as friends at the time. And I said, Neil, I just had this dream and I won Love Island and I don't know who the guy was next to me, but they said my name and there was fireworks and the presenter was blonde. And he laughed and went, He went, that is the most ridiculous dream. Keep dreaming, Ekin. That's pathetic. That ain't going to happen to you. The chance of you winning that is so slim. He said, you're lucky if you last a week. He said that with your sort of humour, he said, because obviously I'm a bit quirky.
So what's the process for that? Do you have to go for auditions?
So when people say I got approached, it is a lie. You don't get approached. You can get approached, but you still need to apply the application on the ITV website.
Okay.
You've got to write what you like, what your hobbies are like, what do you like in a man, what's a weird thing about you, your deepest, darkest secret, you basically tell the people. It's quite scary. You tell them
What did you tell them? What is your deepest, darkest secret? And
I tell you guys, you'll know. I'll tell you after this. Yeah, we don't want people to know. It's kind of weird. You have to send a picture of yourself. So you have to send like a headshot, a long picture, full length, and a headshot, preferably with you done up. Yeah. So again, it's looking good and glamorous. And then once that's sent, if they like you, you get a call for an official first Zoom. And in this Zoom, they advise you to look like you're going on a night out. So get dressed up. Obviously, I was wearing underwear with a going out top with makeup on and did a Zoom. Didn't think anything of it. Again, I thought I was being very bizarre on this call, talking about weird stuff. And then months went by, got a call and said, Ekin, we really need you on here. Would you fly ASAP to Spain? You're going to be one of the early bombshells. We don't know what date or day, but early. And I thought, rang my mum and dad. I went, guys, I'm going on Love Island. And they were like, what? Also, my dad at the time was like, what is Love Island in his Turkish accent? Googled it. It's like girls snogging, like, obviously, as a Turkish dad, he was a bit like, you sure this is going to be good for your career? You're an actress. We want people to take you seriously.
Yeah.
He had a point. I thought, you know what? It's about how you present yourself on the show. It doesn't mean anything if you're on a bikini. If you present yourself classy and authentic, no one can control that. So I thought, I'm going to do it. Broke up with my boyfriend at the time, the Turkish guy who was also a narcissist. And went on it.
And you don't have any regrets?
Nope.
No.
And I'm thankful for Love Island because I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now.
Okay, let's talk about you entering the Love Island villa day 3 as a bombshell. See, I'd be scared to go in as a bombshell because, when people go in on the first day, friendships are formed, relationships are formed. Did you feel like any extra pressures going in as a...
Honey, it's not Friendship Island. I was there to cause drama. I am the drama maker. I knew that the girls would not like me because I was like, if I want something, I will have it.
But they did. They did like you.
In the end, they did because they saw that I was actually not a mean person.
Yeah.
Although my character was to be the bitch, I wasn't. Like, I couldn't physically be horrible to those girls. And I still love them, every single one of them. And I wish them well. And I always look at their profiles and think, I'm so happy you're doing well.
Do you keep in contact with any of them?
I do. And even if we don't meet, when we do meet, it's like going back in the villa again. But I said my famous line, I'm not here for seasonal girlfriends. I wasn't. And I don't regret saying that. And I got to know every single guy. Now, listen, it's impossible to fall in love with someone in 2 days. People are like, why are you targeting my man? You've known the man for 2 nights. How can you say I'm attacking? Like, I am not taking your boyfriend.
Yeah.
I can get to know everyone in here. It's been 2 days, honey.
Yeah.
So I did that and I don't regret it because I realized what worked for me, what was good for me, which guy had my sort of vibe. And out of all of them, I thought Davide did because he was, near my age. I knew there was something about him at the time that wasn't who he portrayed, the muscles and the looking in the mirror. I knew there was actually a vulnerable side to him because when I got to know him, it came out. And that's what drew me to him.
That's a bit of an ick of mine, though, a man who's in the mirror that much.
It is ick of me now. It's an ick for me now, babes. Like, if I see a man like that, muscles, run. Girls, run away.
Muscles.
He is a narcissist.
Muscles, I don't mind. But the whole, if a guy is taking longer than you to get ready, that is an ick for me.
Red flag.
It's a huge red flag. Huge.
It is. A woman
I
should
don't even
take
think
time.
my husband looks in the mirror really. Like, I think the only time he looks in the mirror is when he's like out the shower, brush his teeth, whatever. He's not like
I like that.
although he does do the odd golf swing in the mirror, which is
Is he a golfer?
he's a golfer.
Is he?
But he'll get dressed for golf and do the swing in the mirror.
That's the practice form, though.
But
We can get away with
But
that.
I've told him to his face that's I'm sorry, I'm playing tennis. Is it bloody golf? Anyway, any more red flags for men while we're on that subject, do you think?
Of men in general.
Mm.
Let's talk about love bombing.
I don't know what love bombing is, but I know you talk a lot about this in your book and toxic relationships. So I'm
going to give you an example of love bombing right now.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting you for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You say we met on a dating site.
Oh, dropping the love bomb.
Instantly, this is how I'm going to act with you. I'm over the moon with you. What beautiful eyes you have. And then I'm going to be like, you know what? I bought you some flowers. You deserve them. You're the best thing. Tell me more about you. I listen to you. I basically in my head take notes, everything about you. I find out your weakness. And for 6 months, I treat you like a queen. And then when you fall in love with me, I then start to manipulate you. I then start to question your own insecurities. I then start to say, that friend's not good for you. But I love you. But I think you're better off without that friend. Then you realize you start to isolate yourself from people around you who actually care for you. Then you start to wonder and self-doubt yourself because you stop giving yourself attention.
Yeah.
And then the person you're with starts to not value you anymore and then will blame you for things. Why did you put this cup here? And you go, because I did. But why did you put it there? I told you not to put it there. It's always your fault. It's always your fault, Abby.
Oh my God.
I don't want to talk to you, Abby. And punishes you for a whole week. And then you start to become insecure and you start to rely on them because everyone around you has gone.
Oh my God. That doesn't sound very loving. The love bomb doesn't sound very loving.
The love bombing is what you want all the time. That's what they want. That's what you need. So when they cut that out your life, the reason why you go back to them is because you want what you had in the beginning and that never happens again, Abby. You want that high that you felt. You want the guy telling you what you want to hear or the girl. It never happens again.
Yeah.
That's why you keep going back and it's called a trauma bond. Because I haven't fully healed from everything, from my exes before that, what I've been through in this industry. It is hard for me to fully believe in love again.
Yeah.
And surrender myself before. I'm always judging people now. I'm like, this person's a red flag. This person's doing this. I can't help it because I'm scared of going back into that hole.
Yeah. Do you think you're addicted to toxic relationships? Because you've said in the past that drama follows you everywhere.
So to break the chain of a toxic addiction with relationships, you have to have time for you. Yeah. You have to break the chain by loving you again. And it can take time because if you don't fully love yourself, you will meet the same people over and over again because that's what you're used to. And it's a high. The love bombing is what I crave. The validation, the attention, and I fall for that.
Yeah.
So when a guy shows me so much love and attention, I think it's real. And then
isn't that a relationship though? Isn't that what's supposed to happen in a relationship? People do pay attention to you, love you, do nice things.
Correct. But
make you feel safe.
That's true. But a healthy relationship doesn't happen quickly. And a healthy relationship usually stems from friendship. And it happens in time. And you're normally not attracted to that person straight away. You fall in love with their personality.
Do you think? I don't completely agree with that. I think there are good people out there. You're probably just going the wrong places.
I haven't met any, honey. They are. And I'm not saying there isn't. But until I heal myself, I'm not going to meet those good guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm drawn to the other guys.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like you said, drama follows you everywhere. Maybe you're seeking out the drama.
Maybe I'm manifesting it.
Yeah, you need to get out of that.
Yeah.
But this is good. Be your own best friend. You're working on you. You know, you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Oh, yeah. And I felt like this book couldn't have been written at the right time. Because writing this book was literally me going through Big Brother, me going through the breakup. And funny enough, I was literally writing my feelings on a paper that was then turned into a book. So like the timings of things, me turning 30, all of this was just it couldn't have been the perfect time to have this book out. For someone who craved validation, the moment I ever felt validated in my life, ever, would have been the night I won.
Mm.
I felt like the girl inside me came out and broke free.
Yeah.
And was free.
Mm.
And that's when I truly felt happiness.
And it was
It's quite sad, but that's when I felt accepted by England, I guess, the world. Because I didn't think, in my back of my head, where I was bullied about racism, I didn't think I would get this far purely because of my race as well. Like, I am English, I was born here, but my parents are Turkish. I didn't know, I didn't believe that the English culture would be voting for a Turkish person. So I always had in the back of my mind, maybe there might be racism towards me. So winning that felt like it's nothing to do with that, actually. I've just been me.
Yeah.
And they like me for me. I can finally say I'm Ekin-Su without saying I'm Susie or, you know.
Susie.
That was my name at uni.
That's cute. So you leave the villa as the winner with more than 63% of the votes, which is record breaking. For someone craving validation, did that hit the spot?
I still would love to feel that emotion again. It felt like a drug, like the high, the hit of overload love. Everything I ever wanted happened.
Yeah.
But was it really that 2 years down the line? It's not what it seems. The struggles of pleasing people, pleasing brands, pleasing the boyfriend, forgetting me happened. I forgot who I was. I became a product to everyone. I was Ekin-Su, the product.
Yeah, well, you come out to that as a brand.
Yeah.
And your relationship was a brand.
Yeah.
So how was that, when you were going through your ups and downs with Davide? Were you worried, oh my God, I've got to stay with him because we're going to lose that deal, we're going to lose that money,
I never had that worry because I knew I'd be successful on my own.
Yeah.
I knew that as soon as I saw the love was for me as well. I used to think Davide was I used to put him on a pedestal on the show because he made me believe he was the loved one. But when I left, people were like, we don't care if Ekin wins with so-and-so, we love her. Yeah. And that's when I thought, oh, holy hell, like, this is different. And I knew he probably needed more. And I know for a fact the girls do better in the industry than the guys. And that's what the producers told me. It just happens. It naturally happens. More brand deals, more opportunities for women.
Yeah.
He knew that, but I think he felt insecure as well.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to always do, I guess, one up me. And it should have never been a competition. It felt like he was in competition with me at some times. And I was like, we're a team.
Yeah.
Just because I'm getting 4 or 5 brand deals doesn't mean you should be racing me it just didn't feel authentic.
Because you were always chasing that validation hit. All of a sudden you've got it. But did this make it worse? Because, in the book you talk about how you were searching the comments, looking at yourself every day. Did that make you feel better or worse?
I used to say, who would read their own comments? And I used to say to people, why do celebrities go on Daily Mail or why do you read your comments? It's actually simple. Don't read it. And I became that person to read them. And once you start reading them, it is an addiction. Yeah. Every day you refresh the page. Or what so-and-so from Scotland said, or what so-and-so from, with no profile picture, Anonymous 2025 said. And you actually start to take it in. Yeah. And you start to believe, well, maybe I am a bad person, or maybe I am fat, or maybe I am this way. But I never used to be like that. And then all of a sudden the childhood bully stuff, it's like the bullies, do you know what it feels like, Abby? It feels like the bullies are commenting on it from my school. It felt like that. Those names started to become the faces from school, the comments. And it really, especially when you're in a toxic relationship that you always just loved from your partner, isn't giving you that. And you already feel isolated. Then you have the world trolling you. Then you have brand deals that one day leave you. You start to doubt if you're actually a good person.
So why do you think all this started to happen?
Overworking. Firstly, it was so hyped when I left. So many brand deals wanted to work with me. I had limited time to pick. And I put my hand up. I should have been more selective. We did everything. I did Dancing on Ice, Beauty Works, Oh Polly, which took a lot of my time. I love the brand. I can't say anything bad about Oh Polly. They were great. But again, where was the time for me? And my psych at the time that Love Island provide you, Sandra, she said, Ekin, you need to say no to people. Yeah. You are not a product. You don't have any free time in your diary and it's concerning. And you're going to lose yourself. And I said, me, lose myself? Yeah, right. I did.
But at the same time, it's new and exciting. You probably didn't realise at the time you were burnt out.
People are telling you at one end, you got to do everything because you know what? Once this year is gone, your engagement goes down. You got to say yes to these things.
Yeah.
And then you have some people say, no, you got to be selective. Well, what is right and wrong at the time?
I know.
I want to please everyone.
I think that comes with age, that kind of confidence to say no. Because
yes,
I used to do that, and then all of a sudden, what should be the happiest time of your life, because obviously you were grateful, lucky, you've worked hard for this, like the build up before Love Island, and now you're exactly where you want to be, but you're feeling unhappy and depressed, and that's because you're exhausted and burnt out, and in a toxic relationship.
And I never did what reminded me of me at the time.
Yeah.
To ground yourself, you should always, I say in the book, go to places you used to go when you were a child or when you were a teenager. Go to the uni you went to, visit a shop, a bakery that you used to have, your favorite cinnamon roll at. Smell things that remind you of you. Pre-Love Island, all this stuff, it grounds you. And I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't take a walk with my best friend at the time from uni. I neglected everyone. I was so in my own world. I forgot who I was.
Yeah.
And then I was just pleasing everyone. I didn't have boundaries. So when things went wrong in my relationship, when I did get cheated on, I didn't tell anyone. I was like, I kind of agreed to it. And I thought, maybe I deserve to be cheated on.
Why did you think that?
Because it happened. It happened where I felt so worthless. Where you don't have your own life and your boundaries, you think in your head, maybe you deserve to be cheated on. Maybe you deserve this is a treatment I need. If I fully loved myself at the age I am now, I would have left ages ago. I would have said no to certain brand deals. I would have said no to my ex. You can't treat me this way. I would have gone on to the Daily Mail or the press and I would have told the truth to the world. I've been cheated on. I've been going through this. Yes, the video on TikTok was true. He did go back home with 2 girls from that night. I didn't. And you know what? Going back to Molly May, I know exactly how Molly May feels. I know why she was silent for so long. I get her. I get what she went through. And I feel for her. And I'm so glad she left. It just shows, even if you have a child, I said to myself, if I had a kid with Davide, would I have left? It is hard. So the turning point with my ex was actually, funny enough, it was when I did the show called The Traitors US. And there was a brilliant show, made friends for life. It was when I had to be buried alive in a coffin.
Oh, God. No, I could not.
Under the ground, alive, for an hour.
Do that.
An hour in the forest. And it was actually really real. Everyone dressed in black. It was a funeral scene. There was horses and everything. I didn't know
what was your funeral song? Did you have one?
I think it's on Instagram. It's the Billy song, What Was Life Made For? Yeah, so sad. The turning point was literally being buried in a coffin alive, shot like pitch black, felt like a death of my soul, felt like the old Ekin died and the new Ekin reborn. I cried as soon as I got lifted out of the coffin and I thought, you know what? I don't deserve this.
So you knew he was cheating on you before you went in to do that show? Yeah.
I knew he was cheating on me the night I was in The Traitors as well. I had a gut feeling he went out in Manchester that night. And my gut was right when I left the show because the headlines were everywhere. And he denied it to people and said Ekin knew about it when I didn't. People see through things now though.
Yeah.
And I wish him well. I'm not bad-mouthing him. And I'm not talking about it because it's like, bringing it to date. I'm so confident with what happened. I can actually speak about it without feeling paranoid and anxious about my ex. It's just the truth and it feels good.
So when did you finally make the decision to call it a day and move on?
When he swore at my mum in Italy and told her to F off because my mum didn't want him to fake propose to me.
What's that about?
Yeah, he fake proposed to me. in Italy that it was funny to arrange a paparazzi.
That's so weird.
I'm not a toy. You can't do that to me. I'm a human being with feelings, and I actually thought he was going to propose.
God.
It's just like 2 years down the line with my mum and brother there. My mum just said, don't do that. And he swore at my mum. And that's when I thought, you know what? I don't want to lose my mum or my family over a guy. If you disrespect my family, you disrespect me. Finished. And I forced myself not, so I came back, forced myself not to see him for 3 weeks. It was so hard because he kept calling me back to Manchester. No, and I did a statement. I said, you know what? If I don't do the statement, I won't let go of him. I did it. And it feels so relieved.
Yeah. But obviously, you were still heartbroken.
Of course.
He's betrayed you. You've had to make that decision when you're in love with someone to split up. But then you decide to go on Big Brother. Who was advising you at that point to do that? Because you can't have been yourself going through, and as you say, when all this cheating stuff did come out, you had no one to talk to, you bottled up all your feelings, you wore a mask, you couldn't tell anyone how you felt. So then to go on a show like Big Brother, where you completely, it's an experiment, you put to the test, everyone is on that show. And the show going in there as a normal, completely healthy person, it would be tough. So to go in your state must have been really hard.
Well, actually, for a person who wasn't in the right mindset, would agree to go on it. Because if I was in the right mindset, I probably wouldn't at that time.
That's what I mean.
So being in that mindset, I did want to do it, thinking it was the right thing. So the only reason I went on it is purely to prove to me, just to myself and to the world, that I'm single now and I can do something on my own. That's all. That's it. I didn't want to win. Didn't want to, and just to make new friends. Like that's all it is.
Because presumably you've been used to working a lot with Davide, a lot of joint ventures.
Yeah.
Just to go off on your own and just be you without him.
I just wanted people to see me on my own on the show and be friends with just me and not relate me to my ex. But then funny enough, people were interested. Oh, tell us about Love Island. And I was like, guys, I haven't come in here to talk about Love Island. And I don't have a go at my cast members because they have every right to ask me about a show I won. It's normal. But I attached that to pain, to betrayal, to cheating, to OnlyFans, to so much,
Talk me through the OnlyFans thing, because I know that was a big controversy when you're on the Big Brother. What happened there?
OnlyFans was a comment made by, I think at the time, Fern, who just asked me, I guess, do you must have an OnlyFans being on Love Island. And I think I took that as a sort of attack. Looking back, if I went in there now and someone asked me about OnlyFans, I would just say, that's your opinion. I respect OnlyFans. I think it's a great platform and it's good for women who earn their money.
Yeah.
But back then, OnlyFans linked to the girls he cheated me with because they were OnlyFans models.
Yeah.
And they were girls.
So you're thinking in your head, any girl on OnlyFans is going to take my boyfriend.
Yes. The sick mindset I had was...
No, it's that's a trauma mindset.
So that's why when people ask me, well, do you have any bikini pictures? It was like proving a point to say, I'm loyal.
Yeah.
But actually, I said it in a way where it was wrong. And I put my hand up and I take accountability. And I'll say this now, OnlyFans is amazing. And I think it's so good for women, boss babes, earning money. And that's a choice.
And men. Men go on it.
And men.
I didn't know men are on it.
Yeah. And I think couples go on it too. And I feel like if you want to, it's your body and you should love your body and you should be able to show your body if you want to. And there's nothing wrong with wearing bikini pictures. That's why right now I am posting more bikini pictures. I shouldn't be ashamed or shamed for looking a certain way wearing a bikini. I am actually loving girls who are sexy. I'm loving women again who are beautiful and I look up to them and I want them to be their best selves. And I'm so sorry to the comments I made to the viewers at the time, the attack that I did, and I take accountability for that. I do. And I always bring it up because I feel bad. And it was like a different version of me that was just bruised. And I don't hate any of the girls my ex cheated me with. I really don't. I hate my ex for it. The girls have no fault in it. They don't. Because my ex was with me at the time. He was in a relationship. He could have said no.
Yeah. When you were on Big Brother, you were accused by some of the housemates of being fake and wearing a mask. How would you respond to that?
I wasn't myself. I wasn't me. I wasn't telling the truth to people in the house. I wasn't telling the truth to people that I am insecure, I'm vulnerable, and I'm not in the right headspace to be in Big Brother right now.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I was always like, yeah, I'm great. I'm happy. But you could see, if you look back, you can actually see it in my eyes, how depressed I was. The shine when, you know what happens when you don't tell someone the truth for so long? It eats your soul. So you can't move on.
Yeah.
So now that I'm actually opened up in the book and to the world, I think, why did I not do this before?
Yeah.
My life would have been different. What was I afraid of? I was so afraid he would do something or use something against me, or just afraid.
So let's talk about the late and live interview. You know, I must admit it was uncomfortable to watch. There was over 100 complaints to Ofcom. What was it like for you being there and sitting in that studio?
You know what it felt like? It felt like on the late and live, I had killed someone and everyone was coming for me. Or I was really racist or something really bad happened. Now I look back and I think that was not okay.
No.
That treatment I had on the show, yeah, I own up to my staff, that was not okay.
No.
The comments from Leighton, the way that the host was siding up, you know, who are we on that, you know, booze. I wasn't allowed friends in there. It felt like a setup. Didn't feel there's a game going on. There's something going on there. And I've never been treated like that. And that brought me back to my school again.
Yeah.
Felt like all the people in the audience were the people at my school, bullies, ex-boyfriends. Felt like two of my exes were the presenters at the time.
Yeah.
No matter what you do wrong, no one should be treated that way. In front of their mum in the audience.
There's not one person on earth that everyone thinks is amazing. Someone always dislikes them. So that isn't a mission impossible. So, and the sooner you realise that, the happier and more free you'll be.
That's exactly what happened to me.
I think surround yourself with good people who love you for who you are, you know.
And you know what? I've
the good, the bad and the ugly, and they don't judge you. That's when you'll start feeling good. Like you don't need people in your life, if they make you feel bad or their comments for validation, there's just no point.
You know what? Once you start realising that not everyone's going to like you, it doesn't have to be a reason.
Yeah.
I don't have to like a certain dessert, but you might. Yeah. And that's okay. I'm not going to question you for not liking it or liking it.
Or if a song comes on the radio, I'm like, oh, I love this song. And my husband like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It's fine.
And you know what it is? Everyone, even in like day-to-day jobs, in finance or in school, if you're a teacher, there's going to be another teacher who just doesn't like the other teacher. But there's going to be other teachers who like that teacher.
Yeah.
It's life. You can't please billions of people in the world. You will lose yourself. For what are you trying to do? Please people.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's not nice if people are being mean to someone or being nasty.
As long as you know yourself and you know you and you know that you're being true to yourself.
Yeah.
You're being true to your family, true to your morals.
Yeah.
Everything.
There's not one person on this earth that everyone likes, and that's okay.
That's normal.
That's normal.
It's normal.
It's normal. Do you regret doing Big Brother?
No, I don't regret going on there. You know why? Because I've learned so much from Big Brother. I've learned about myself. I've learned about being really low from a high show, then being really low. I know what it feels like to be booed on now. I know. I've gone back to my childhood in that feeling, and I don't want that anymore.
No.
So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change anything.
You've had a roller coaster of a career, and it was only 2 years ago you were on Love Island. You have done so much, achieved so much, some of the biggest brand deals in history, you know, huge highs, huge lows. After everything that's happened, what relationship do you have with yourself today?
I have a relationship with myself where every day I'll wake up and waves of insecurity will come, but I recognize it. And I say to the little Ekin inside me, and I go, hey, little Ekin, it's me, grown up Ekin. Come give me a hug.
Yeah.
I hug her, I cry to her, and I say, it's time to grow up. You're a woman now. I got you though.
Yeah.
And then I feel fine again. So it's just being an adult. And being an adult is scary, Abby. Like, it is, but it's also exciting and nerve-wracking, and you have to make choices, and no one's really going to be there for you. You're your own main character.
So would you say you haven't got a good support system around you even now?
I do. But the reality is, this is what we have to believe in. And that's what my book is about. I have friends and I have family, but everyone in life is temporary. What happens one day when, heaven forbid, something happened to your family? You're on your own. If you rely on their support system all your life, what's it going to get you?
Yeah.
Anxiety, panic attacks. So I've tried to train myself to be alone, okay, like go to holidays on my own, take myself to restaurants, feel a bit vulnerable and scared, but train myself that I got me because I'm my friend. People come and go in life, but you lose friends, they come, the good ones always stay. But how much support do you want? People are so busy with their own lives and their own problems. Not everyone's going to be there for you.
No.
You're important, remember? And you have the power to control your life. When people pass away, life carries on.
Yeah.
You carry on. If you sit there and grieve about someone's loss and forget your own life for years, what are you doing to your own life? So it's quite a deep thing, but once you start being on your own and you're comfortable, you become unstoppable.
So reflecting on your life so far, is there anything that you would go back and change?
My hair colour. Apart from that, nothing, no. Absolutely nothing. I'm grateful for every mistake I made.
Yeah.
If I haven't made them, I wouldn't learn.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't learn, I wouldn't be who I am now. I don't regret any of my exes. I'm very grateful for them. They all taught me something.
Yeah.
Every job that I was in taught me something. Working in a bar, working in a restaurant, being fired from a job, all these things teach me something.
Yeah.
Thank you for them. So, yeah.
In your book, you talk about the future, Ekin-Su. Where do you envision yourself?
This is what people usually say when they say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? They say married, kids, good business. I don't agree with that. I didn't plan my life. It just happened. So I don't actually have a vision. All I vision is being healthy, happy, and peaceful.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. I don't care if I lose money one day. I don't care if money comes and goes. But health doesn't, family doesn't. So as long as I'm healthy and I have my mum and dad and my brother there, my family, I don't care where the hell I am in life.
Yeah. I agree with that. Health is wealth.
Yeah, it is.
Being happy is the most important, I think.
It is. So during the obviously end of the book, I wrote a letter to my 10-year-old self. And if that 10-year-old Ekin would speak to me now, I think she would feel very intimidated probably and worried. And she would feel like she needs to latch onto me and make me her mum in a way.
Yeah.
Because she feels really isolated and really lonely. And I would say to the 10-year-old Ekin, I will always have your back because I'm you, you're me, we're the same person. And life is taught wrong, little Ekin. Those fairy tales don't exist. You know, those books that you read at school, it's not real. Life is actually scary. That's what I'd teach her, and how to be strong, and that you're going to experience betrayal and bullies, and you're going to experience.
But you're saying that's not real because you haven't had your happy ending yet? Because I think they are. I think they are real. But it just hasn't maybe happened to you yet. You know, you have to, there's the story, you have to kiss a lot of frogs first.
Yeah,
so
I think I have. Too many now. I'm sick of that.
Too many.
I really am sick of these frogs.
No, well, I've loved speaking to you today. And good luck with your book. Be your own best friend. I've loved the book, and I think everyone should go out and read it. It's a really good story, and a story of self-discovery and self-love and overcoming of obstacles and the highs and lows of your life. So
I'm sure there's girls that can relate when they read to that.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Definitely. But thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was wonderful.
Ekin-Su!